I recently got the new, in some way, Sigma 16mm f1.4, and I've decided to take it for a test run compared with the kit lens, since they both share the same focal length of 16mm, and try it out for what it should be best at, landscape photography. So with that being said, let's move on to the photos I took. Okay, so I have two pictures here shot at identical settings on the same spot. The Sigma is slightly more zoomed in because of the lens length. You can correct it if you go a few millimeters back, but I prefer to stay at the same place and make the same picture from the same place. Now they both been shot at f8 and ISO 116mm, of course, and the same shutter speed. So if we go to the center of the image, excluding the birds, the image will be very much identical, and it's very hard to see any difference in sharper, in color, whatever. Really hard to see any difference. And as we go to the edge of the image, that's the place that we'll start to see the bigger difference. And already I can see the leaves, overall the branches on the Sigma looks sharper. I will just, and as we go up to the top left of the image, this is the biggest difference on the edge of the image. You can see how blurred out the image on the kit lens, the branches and the leaves, and it's sharp on the Sigma. And I can also see some purple color here on the branch of the kit lens. And if you zoom in real close, you can see the purple color. I think it's called chromic aberration, but you also have that with the Sigma. You can see here on the leaves. It's really hard to see unless you're really zoomed in, but it does exist on the Sigma as well. You can see over here and all the way over here. So it does exist, but it's more visible on the kit lens. As we zoom out, you can see it's much less visible on the Sigma compared to the kit lens, and of course the sharpness of the leaves and the branches. And it goes all the way down here as well. The Sigma stays sharp, and the kit lens looking okay, but it's more blurred out, less sharp. And as we go to the center of the image again, the difference is not there until we go to the edge of the screen here on bottom right. The cars looks sharper, the Sigma, and washed out with the kit lens. And as we go up the building, it looks better with the Sigma. Okay, so moving on with the next pictures. Okay, so here I have two images shot at the parking lot. Okay, so comparing these images, let's go to the middle over here to the signs, and it looks pretty much the same, not much of a difference over here. If you look at the car, it's slightly sharper here with the Sigma, but as you can see, the exposure is almost the same, a little bit brighter on the Sigma, but it shouldn't make much of a difference with the picture quality. And as we go down here to the second sign, I can see already a difference in sharpness, and the building here is sharper, the lights are way sharper with the Sigma over here, and the sign and the letters, and the pole and the flags are sharper with the Sigma. And it's really, it's not the center of the image, but it's close to it. It's like in the middle between the edge and the center, and you already see a difference. So as we go to the edge of the picture, let's look at that car. I can see the biggest difference over here. The car here looks way better, just sharp and clear, and it's blurred out and washed out with the kit lens. Same go with the building. You can see how the Sigma is sharper all the way from top to bottom. This is, the lights are way more visible and clear, and you can just see the difference between the lights. And with the kit lens, the lights almost disappear with the clouds. So, and as we go to the edge, to the other edge of the image over here, and there is honestly, I can see the sign over here is way sharper, but it's cut out. The car looks better. I didn't look at the dent of the car, I didn't notice it before. Yeah. And as we go up, the lights are sharper, the flag looks sharper over here. It's hard to see any difference on the trees, but as we go up to the pole, yes, the lights again looks way sharper, and the pole looks a little bit better with the Sigma. And yeah, again, Sigma 1 is sharper, and even at the center of the screen, as I can see here, look at this, look at the car over here and the sign. It is sharper with the Sigma, almost all the way on the image. It's just less noticeable at the center of the image, but if you look closely, you can see the difference as well. Okay, I got a few more shots from today at the exact same setting, f9 and 100 ISO, same shutter speed. To make it more official, let's just move on from side to side, and the center looks pretty much the same. The trees, the leaves here look sharper on the Sigma. The Sigma is on the left, of course. And as we move to the right screen, you can see how blurred the branches here, and the Sigma is sharper. The road here is also sharper until it goes here. This is pretty much the same. The road over here on the very edge of the screen is also sharper with the Sigma. You can see the exposure difference in here. The noise is pretty significant. And as we move to the other side, the Sigma is sharper if you look at the buildings. And if we move to the other side, the tree here is sharper. The field over here is sharper. So Sigma is sharper, especially on the edge of the screens. That's pretty much it for that picture. Okay, so that's the last picture for this comparison. The Sigma is on the right and the kit lens is on the left. Exactly the same settings again. And let's move to the edge. The bottom right of the screen, you already see the difference with the pavement here, the small tiny rocks, and all the way through the pavement and the fence. The Sigma looks sharper also. the fin, that green fin, whatever it's called, is sharper. The pole is sharper. Slightly color difference, probably because of the weather. It was changing real fast. If you look at the center here, the Sigma is sharper, but it's not very significant as on the edge of the screen. As we look at the buildings here, the Sigma is more clear. The pole looks pretty much the same. The tree looks almost the same. And as we move to the building, the Sigma is sharper. Slightly color difference in here. And the Sigma goes way sharper over here with the rocks. And if we zoom close with the fence over here, you will see how it looks better with the Sigma. You can actually see the fence and it's almost disappearing with the kit lens. Again, this was shot with exactly the same settings and almost exactly the same exposure outside. So and the skies here are overexposed, but I have to mention the first picture I took but with a kit lens, so this is all what the camera decided to take. And again, the building over here on the other side is way sharper with the Sigma. If you look at the fence over here, again, you can see more details with the Sigma over here, and you almost don't see the poles on the fence here on the kit lens. And the building is all the way sharper. Let's move all the way down. The trees, the leaves looks clearer, better, sharper with the Sigma. The fence looks sharper here, and the rocks looks sharper with the Sigma again. So edge to edge, the biggest difference is on the edge of the screen. So that's pretty much it for that comparison. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it was helpful, although it was quite obvious. I just wanted to make a comparison between those two. More comparison with the Sigma lens coming by. So thank you for watching. See you on the next video. Bye bye.